In the very early 90s, toy company Tyco licensed a new line of toys. These toys took surprising inspiration from a series of national safety adverts whose aim was to promote awareness around car safety. The crash dummies enacted quite accurately and quite shockingly what would happen if you didn't follow safety regulations like buckling your seatbelt. Perhaps it was seeing the potential to have a line of toys that could break apart and have all sorts of different vehicles that fired the imagination of the toy makers at Tyco. Or maybe they just thought they'd get a lot of free advertising when it came to seeing the crash dummies in the adverts promoting their toys. But whatever the reason, Tyco went ahead and produced a range of toys based on crash dummies, and they made a lot of toys, and they ran for several different series between 91 and 94 before being revamped again later in 1998 by Hot Wheels. But during their initial run, the crash dummies were incredibly successful. Not only did they have their main toy line, but they also expanded out into computer games, comic books, and they even made a pilot for a TV show which sadly was never picked up. But oddly enough, they did release this pilot when you bought some of the toys. So I actually had a copy of this on VHS when I was a small child. And I remember it being quite a strange and slightly haunting thing. I was definitely very creeped out by the main villain, Junkman, who was made of all these disassembled parts. And I also remember having a mad passion for these toys, even though I actually didn't have that many of them. And I do recall some reluctance on the part of my parents, who weren't sure that the message being conveyed was actually a good one. So yes, obviously the whole theme of the toy line is to be safe and buckle up and safety first inside a vehicle. And yet, the toys were obviously very clearly exploiting crashing and glamorizing the damage that's done by that. So I think my parents were worried that, I might get the wrong impression and the wrong idea. But that said, I did have hours of fun with these toys, and today I'm going to take a look at one of my favourites, which is the Crash Cab. So this is the front of the packaging, and as you can see, it's very bright, it's very colourful, and what's nice is, of course, they've used pencil art to illustrate this packaging and the toy inside. And for those of you who've seen my other videos, you'll know that I'm a big fan of actual art on the packaging rather than just photo images. I think it's a lot more evocative and it's a lot more colourful. But on the reverse of the packaging, we do have that photo image there that is selling all the action features of this car. But also there's a little bit of a bio at the top there, the crash dummy story. And then in the bottom corner, of course, we can see other vehicles that we can buy in this line. And so here it is, fully assembled and out of its packaging. As you can see, there are a ton of stickers on this vehicle. Lots of little decals to make it more visually striking. And as you can see, mine has been very well played with, judging by how crumpled some of those stickers are and the fact that I'm missing one of the door pieces. But overall, this is visually very appealing, it's very colourful, and it looks fun. Of course, this is modelled on a taxi cab, so it does actually move, which is always a fun thing in any vehicle, especially a car. You're going to want that action. Something I always found really cool and interesting as a kid is that actually the steering wheel actually does move from side to side, and I always really like that feature. And on the inside of the dashboard, of course, we do have some stickers there to show the radio and different things like that. So that looks really nice. Now, I couldn't very well go and show off the car without introducing you to the line's heroes, which of course is Slick and Spin. I had both of these. I was really, really pleased to get these characters. I love the colours on them. I love that one's in purple, which was my favourite colour as a child, and the other one's in white there. And as a kid, I always really loved these figures because they had such a great design and weren't made like other toys at all. And one of the key things is the articulation, but also the inbuilt action features. So he can spin his head 360 degrees if you wanted to. He can lift his arms and they can rotate all the way around. Now he actually has a bicep swivel, which is quite unusual for this day and age. And of course he has the single jointed elbows as well, which is great. So already you can see that's actually quite a good range of motion in this little figure, and it's very nicely done. He doesn't have any waist articulation, but again he does have movement at the hips, and of course he has the single jointed knees, but also a thigh swivel. And then, to cap it off, the action features. So you press the top button, his header falls off, and you press the bottom, and his legs and arms fall off. And on the reverse there, we can see the Crash Dummies logo as well. And so, when you're ready, you can put them in the car, you can decide whether you're going to choose to buckle them up or not. Maybe you'll do one each, and then they can take a ride and see what happens if they have an accident. There is a mechanism at the very front of the bumper of the car, so when you apply enough force and you ram it into a solid object, like so, it triggers the release mechanism for the windscreen to fall out, the wheels to pop off, the bonnet to crumple, and the ejector seat. The stronger the force you apply, the more devastating the results. And yes, I did say ejector seat. As you can see, the passenger seat is spring-loaded so that when it is triggered, it will fire the figure through the windscreen and smash through it. Now, mine is aged quite a bit, and this only works 1 out of 10 times. But when you get it right, it will flip him right the way through the screen. And on the driver's side, again, promoting the idea of safety, you will notice that the steering wheel pops off and an airbag is released. Now, sadly, the mechanism has gone in mine, so it doesn't really spring to life anymore, but this definitely did work when I was a kid, and I thought it was a really cool idea, a really fun feature. And there you have it. I think this is a really fun vehicle. I love the design of this. I think there's loads of fun features in it. Whether it's educational or not, or encouraging bad behaviour, I can't say. But I do really think it's a very fun toy. And I think, yeah, absolutely. I think the figures are great. And yeah, what a really fun world to visit. I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, please do give it a like. And remember to subscribe, as I will be posting more videos soon.